Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're digging into a special kind of professional guide. It's a roadmap for, let's just say, a very unique career path. A path for some rapid career transformation.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Forget about climbing the corporate ladder for a second. Today we're going to look at the fastest way down. And we're using our source material as the ultimate textbook for a guaranteed strategy for a very, very swift career change.
And there it is, the core promise pulled straight from the source. This isn't some vague, maybe this will work kind of advice. No, this is a blueprint. So if you're ready to master the art of the exit interview, let's break down these essential methods.
So our masterclass kicks off with the absolute fundamentals. Before you can alienate your boss or your coworkers, you first have to alienate the one thing you are actually hired to do, your job. This whole first part is about perfecting the fine art of neglect.
And really, it all just boils down to two key skills. First, you got to become an absolute master of distraction. And second, you need to develop a complete and total disrespect for the very concept of time. Let's look at how to pull these off.
This first pro tip, it's genius in its simplicity, and it's incredibly effective. The material we're looking at says that if you actively choose to chat with coworkers or just scroll on your phone instead of working, it's the perfect way to build a bad reputation. You're basically sending up a giant flare that says, I could not care less.
So you can really see the two paths laid out here, right? On the right, the professional method is all about focus, which is great, if you actually want to keep your job. But for our purposes today, the method on the left is way more powerful. Distraction is the name of the game. Now, before we get to the next step, let's talk about this word, goodwill. It's that reputation, that vibe that a company and its people build up. It's a super valuable asset. So why are we bringing this up? Because our next move is a fantastic way to torch this critical asset, not just for you, but for your employer too.
And this is exactly how you do it. See, the professional path is full of all that tedious stuff like being on time and, being reliable. But the termination method, it's all about the freedom that comes from consistently disrespecting time. Show up late, blow past deadlines. It sends a clear message that you operate on your own time, not the company's.
Okay, part two. Now that you've successfully ignored all your work, it's time to turn your attention to the people around you. You can't get fired in a vacuum, right? So now it's time to bring your colleagues into the mix. The people skills you need for this particular career path are, well, they're pretty specific. This guide points to two highly effective techniques. First, adopt an aggressive attitude. And second, make sure you're consistently short-tempered. This basically guarantees that when cool opportunities come up, nobody even thinks of you. Perfect. And check this out. This is the guaranteed payoff. Notice how it says the boss will not give you opportunities? For anyone following this guide, that's not a bug, it's a feature. That's the result you've been working so hard for.
All right, we've arrived at the final and maybe the most personal part of our roadmap. This is where we get into the internal game, your own mindset and how you present yourself. This is like the PhD level of self-sabotage. 2 steps. Simple, but oh so effective. First, you've got to become a brick wall, just completely immovable whenever change comes along. And second, you need to master the art of projecting total apathy through your appearance. Let's see how it's done.
Look at the professional on the right. Always learning, always adapting. Sounds exhausting, doesn't it? The termination method on the left is so much easier. Just reject new things. Refuse to learn that new software. Ignore the new company process. It's actually a pretty clever way to make yourself totally obsolete. And for our last trick, it's all about what you're saying without saying a single word. I love how the source material puts this. It says you can get dressed in very low esteem. What does that even mean? Well, the message is crystal clear. Your appearance broadcasts just how much you care. Dressing down is the perfect visual cherry on top of your career termination sundae. All right, okay. So we've had a bit of fun walking through this roadmap to the express lane out the door, but now let's get serious for a second. Let's flip this entire guide on its head and figure out what it's really trying to tell us. It's time to talk about the real roadmap. So yeah, that whole guide was a masterclass in what not to do. The real keys to success are just the exact opposite of everything we just talked about. It means staying focused instead of getting distracted. It means being punctual and reliable, building up that goodwill we mentioned. It's about having a positive, collaborative attitude, not that aggressive one. It means embracing change and, yes, presenting yourself like a professional because it shows you respect yourself and your job. So the crucial point is this.
Building a great career isn't about some huge, dramatic action. It's about the small, positive choices you make consistently every single day. It's the habit of showing up on time, the habit of learning something new, the habit of just being a good teammate. That's the stuff that really builds success over time.
And that really is what it all boils down to. So, looking back at that list of positive habits, I'll leave you with this to think about. Which one of those will you focus on strengthening this week? Thanks for hanging out with me for this one.